Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. This is the September 2023 energy forecast or energy update. Um, it is already September, so this is maybe a little bit late, but not too bad. So, what I have for you is I have a couple oracle cards for you, not too many, not anywhere near the volume I've had in the past. I have some crystals I want to talk to you about. I have a message from Ra that I want to talk to you about. Um, Let me go ahead and actually just start with this message that came through. So, just giving you a feel for the overall energy that's coming through in September, and in some cases beyond that and up to the end of the year. So, maybe some of you are aware, maybe you're not. Last year, and I believe it started, Metatron's telling me it started in May of 2022, and it extended until October 2022. So in that time frame, May to October last year, there was this window, there was this opportunity window or period of time where messages were coming through to those who were channeling that the investments that you made in yourself and the world, um, the things you did during that time frame were important because they were going to be more blessed and maybe more supported than other timelines. Um, so what's happening now is actually tying back to last year. So the things that you put effort into last year between May and October, those are the things that are going to be manifesting now or paying out to you now during September and beyond that as well. So, the big message is that September is about karmic balancing. And this is interesting because Susan, my business partner, already sensed this long before I tuned into this energy because I forget, she had posted something about karma recently, um, on one of our web pages. Um, so that was already in her mind simmering around, and now it's finally catching up to me. So this is about karmic balancing. So you're going to start seeing things if you haven't already. I know I've already started seeing it. You're going to see things in the media if you accidentally or purposely watch the media. There's a lot of people who have done things in the past in darkness, and that's being brought forward into the light now. There are other people who, I know at least in the United States, there are other people who have held a very nice position of power in the past. And now the tables are turning. Now they're looking vulnerable. They're looking frail. Things, the position of power they once held is totally done a 180. So karma is paying out from now through the end of 2023. So depending on your situation, depending on who you are, this might look like good karma coming back to you. This might look like, I shouldn't say good. What do we want to call this, Metatron? An official karma, I guess. Or it might be karma it just needs to happen to balance it out. Either way, it needs to happen to balance out the karma. So it might look, good or bad, depending on who you are. We need to balance this karma in order to move forward. So whether this shows up for you personally as a struggle or as a triumph, the universe requires it. This is just the hurdle or the moment of glory we all need to have in order to keep going. So this is about current lifetime trauma, which is interesting because normally we always include past lives, but he's saying, nope, this is just for this lifetime. Interesting enough. This is part of the reset happening to allow Earth to move forward. So this is somehow tied into the events of last month where the darkness had kind of gone back in time and made an alteration And the side of the light had made all these changes in order to put us back on a good path. And so this is part of it. Part of it is, okay, all this karma, let's address this. Let's address it right now, good or bad. Let's try to level the playing field a lot more. So when I felt into the energy of the month, normally he places me in the ocean, and the ocean will represent, okay, what kind of waves are coming, what kind of chaos is coming. He didn't put me in the ocean, he put me in a field. So that was different. So he put me in the field, and there's like these tall yellow grasses, and it's kind of blowing around in the breeze. And I'm just like, well, this is peaceful. This is nice. And so I walk through the tall grasses, and I come to the other side, and I can see that there's harvesting going on in the fields, and there's like a pile of different vegetables that have been picked. So it's harvest time. We picked all the food and we piled it together. We are blessed. Abundance is coming in. This month and through the end of the year, payouts is how I'm referring to it. Payouts are coming in different ways for different people. And then I heard him say, good news is coming. Good news is coming. This is a time for celebration and rest. Celebration and rest. And I actually brought one of my Amanda Ellis's sprays called Rest and Receive, because that's exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about rest, and he's talking about celebrating. So that's Amanda Ellis's spray. A time to enjoy the results of hard work. This will come in layers. So there are, I'm calling them payouts. I could call them blessings. There are spiritual blessings, emotional blessings, tangible worldly blessings, harmony within relationships, or changes that bring joy. So there's all these different aspects to how beneficial karma or karma we look forward to that might come back to us in these different forms over the next couple of months. So along with that, along with basically a lot of different cool things coming back to us, simultaneously, the investment window for next year opens again. So, and what I mean by investment window is a really fertile period of time where the actions that you choose will be multiplied in the future. So, choosing to invest in good things for yourself means a really wonderful payout in the future. So, what I saw was rain pouring down on the ground. So they said, what you take time to plant for yourself this month, September, what you take time to plant for yourself this month, the spirit world will help you grow. I saw flowers pop up from the ground, but they weren't tiny flowers. They weren't normal size flowers. They were ridiculous. It was like a cartoon. They were huge. And it was just symbolic of you planted this regular size seed, you put in this regular amount of effort, and the spiritual world multiplied it 10 times or 100 times. So they say blessings are available, support is available, more joy is available. Keep going, keep moving forward and investing in yourself. Don't invest in physical things. Invest, and this is what they're telling us to invest into. Invest in the health of your soul. Invest in the health of your mind. And invest in the health of your body. Invest in your joy. So those are the things. Your soul, your mind, your body, your joy. This is what truly matters. Enjoy your divinity this month. So Metatron, he was like putting flowers in my hair, and he was like putting it like a crown around my head or a wreath around my head. He says, enjoy things. It's not frivolous if it brings you joy. It is not frivolous if it brings you joy. It's got a lot of energy behind this. It is not frivolous if it brings you joy. He was not going to let me leave until I said that 3 times. Flowers in your hair are not frivolous if it makes you feel your worth. You have the DNA of gods and angels in you. Yes, we do. All of us. How often do you consciously let yourself feel that? Let yourself feel, hey, I'm made up of the DNA of gods and angels. It's the truth, no matter how much your mind tells you that you aren't good enough. You can't be more than what you already are. You cannot be better than divine. If you are critical of yourself, now is the time to let that go. It's time to let go of wanting perfection. Perfection, real perfection, is imperfect. God Himself is not perfect. So why do you hold yourself to that standard? None can meet it. If you are a creative, like a musician or an artist, someone wanting to start a business, do not wait until what you are working on is perfect in order to present it to the world. Do not wait until the song is perfect. Do not wait until your art is a masterpiece. It is better to place your energy signature out into the world now, imperfectly, than to wait for perceived perfection. It's a trick. The trick is, oh, I'm just going to wait until it's perfect. I'm going to wait until it's my very best work, and then I'm going to put it out. Put out your average work so that you can gain experience and exposure, and you can develop into more of what you want to be. But do not wait for perfection. Do it now. So after I got that, should I save that for later? Okay, I'm going to do cards, and then I'm going to tell you what Ra said. So, which ones do you want to do first? That one, this one? I had 3 different decks, and I think it's 7 cards each. He doesn't normally use this deck, so I was like, oh, hey, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? So, it was kind of cool because all of these cards, or what seemed like all of the cards, were really just emphasizing or revalidating what I already channeled. So, receive. Be open to receiving goodness. Believe you are worthy of abundance. Holy cow, I didn't read the bottom. A gift is coming to you soon. Okay, so that one's pretty literal. So good things are coming. Yeah, this actually might be, I might just be able to read these to you. That's kind of funny. Did my job just get easy? Awareness. Live in the moment. So this is tying back to the comment about celebrating and resting and being joyful in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. I feel like he wants something else on this card, although I don't know what. He's just showing me like light from heaven shining down on the unicorn. Okay, we're good. Strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. Ooh, okay. So we're probably, in addition to all the karmic payouts that are going to be very welcome from us, there might be some karmic payouts that happen this month, next month, through December, where it's more of a challenge, but it's something we have to overcome. But what they're saying is it's not going to be impossible. There's an ending to whatever challenge it is. Doesn't last forever. Look for the gifts in this situation. So ultimately, these are little disguised gifts. And I don't know if that means, I think the gift in this case, I could be wrong. There could be more to it. But at minimum, if you have a challenge and you overcome this challenge and it's tied into karmic balancing, the gift is that you're done with the karma. The gift is that you get to let that go and not keep cycling around that situation anymore. It's balanced, it's done, it can be released from you. And when we have karmic balancing, when we release that karma, it's all about freedom. Okay, so he's also talking about freedom from our own thoughts, freedom from the self-criticism that we allow to hold ourselves back from taking action. You really want to be free? You have to be free of your thoughts. You have to be free of yourself. This is the prison. The mind is the prison that we're all in. There's nobody that has us in a physical cage. All of these restrictions that we have in this world are the mental ones that we constructed because of things other people told us, things society helped us to believe. So much of it's not true. So if you can confront your own mind, confront your own judgments, confront your own ideas about what you're worthy of, what your limits are, what you're capable of, that's how you're going to find freedom, is to not hold yourself to the standard of perfection. Just put the thing out there into the world. Whatever your business is that you want to start, whatever your creative item is that you're working on, don't wait for it to be perfect. Just put it out there. Just be brave and go for it. Oh, how funny. So we were talking about having God and goddess and DNA, having angelic DNA. Honor your divine feminine energy, see your inner beauty, love every part of you. Okay, so there's like this call to self-worth right now. And this is a huge problem in the light worker community because we're all here, we're all willing, we're all competent, we all have gifts. We don't believe our own gifts. We don't trust our own intuition enough. We don't feel worthy enough to be the one spreading the message or to be the one saying, oh, yes, I'm an artist. I can do that. I can help, whatever the case may be. Think what would happen if all of us knew our worth and felt comfortable taking up space and trying to make our imprint on Earth bigger, not being scared to take up the whole room or much bigger than the whole room. Because does a goddess act small? Does a goddess shrink back and try to make themselves not noticed and not in conflict? They just go for it, right? They go for what they want. And that is the energy that we need in light workers, because what light workers want is more light for the earth, more light for themselves, more light for everyone. And we need to push that objective. We just talked about intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide. Trust your intuition no matter what. Yeah. Trust your intuition no matter what. So even if your intuition conflicts with someone who is maybe giving you advice, or maybe it's like someone you watch on YouTube and you're like, "Oh, that person, they know more than me. I should definitely listen to exactly what they told me to do." No, not if that conflicts with your intuition. Your intuition is always correct for yourself. It might not be the case for everybody. Like if something is right for you and it feels right for you, it is right for you. Might not be right for everyone in the room, but you have to honor what your intuition is telling you for you. That is your guides talking to you. All of you with the intuition and the knowing, you hear your guides and it just comes in as thoughts. It's not going to steer you wrong ever. The other gifts can lead you astray, to be totally honest. Intuition will never lead you down the wrong path ever, because intuition is feeling energy, and energy can't lie. You can feel if it's right, you can feel if it's wrong. It can't pretend to be something it's not. Ooh, magic. Make a wish. Ooh, believe in miracles. Magic surrounds you. Okay, so when I saw the rain coming down, and I saw that this was like an investment window or a time period where it's good to plant seeds, it's good to take action for the future. Make a wish. That's what it is when you plant a seed, right? In a way, that's what it is when you take a step towards a dream. You're planting a seed, you're making a wish. You're saying, okay, I'm going to do this thing. And now the spiritual world is going to help you water your seed. Believe in miracles, because with the spirit world, anything is possible. You got to let go of your 3D world concepts of what is possible, because that is not how the spiritual world works whatsoever. Anything can happen here on any timeline. It doesn't have to make sense. It's there are miracles. There is magic. The more you tune in your thoughts to that frequency of magic and possibility and miracles, the more you're going to be able to manifest that in your life. That's all I'll say about that piece. Okay, that was the last card of this deck. I have two more decks. Metatron, which one do you want? Metatron. You don't care? No, I don't care. Okay, fine. I'll do this one. Wow, I think that's the first time Metatron hasn't had an opinion. I don't even know what's going on right now. Oh, here's the deck. One that I use, I don't know, semi-frequently. I guess Metatron likes it because he is the one who picks these cards. I'm sorry if these were supposed to be in a certain order. I'm just showing them to you guys because these cards are not a continuous message like they kind of have been recently. These are all just thoughts on each of these cards. Okay. This is tying into the enjoy and celebrate message. To celebrate the moment, to live in the moment, to enjoy things right now. That this is the time to celebrate and enjoy. So this one is talking about gratitude. So enjoying everything you have, being grateful for everything that you have. Courage and commitment. So this is talking about what we just talked about. When you're taking action towards a dream, you have to have courage and you have to have commitment. You can't just kind of half-heartedly make an effort. You gotta keep chipping away at it. You gotta keep going at it. and you're going to get out of the world what you put into the world. So the more effort you put into what you're trying to accomplish, the more comes back to you. Okay, so you've got a little seahorse right here. What does this say? Harmony and integrity. Okay, so for karma, so for the karmic balancing, I feel like he's trying to give me like a message on this one that's like, it almost feels like it's heavy. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Having uh like a little psychic attack right now. Because all of a sudden, oh yeah, and I can feel it on my eyes. All of a sudden it got real heavy from here up, and it's foggy. And so I'm just asking Odin to clear me right now. Probably will take him a few seconds. No wonder the message got weird. I was like, I feel like Metatron's trying to give me this really big download, and I'm just not seeing what it is, but it's actually when they're doing a psychic attack, and whatever it is they put in the crown chakra. I don't even know if it's supposed to stay. Although this one is. This one is in my third eye and my crown chakra and my Alta Major chakra. So they've just placed something in there that feels heavy. Okay, and now feels like Odin's getting it out. Thank you, friend. Okay, let me see if I can tune into this while he's doing that. The harmony piece is like the end result of us balancing this karma that's coming up to be cleared in these next couple of months. Okay, you don't need the other word. The other thing with the seahorse that they're showing me is that sometimes the currents get really rough for the seahorse, and they just kind of take their tail and they curl it around something and they just kind of hang on and let the current blow, let the current push them around a little bit. So if something rough comes up for you this month or through the end of the year, just remember the durability of this little tiny seahorse. It just hangs on and goes with the flow, and things pass. And that's excellent advice for us humans as well when things get rough, to not resist the difficulty, to go with the flow, and it will pass. They're still clearing me, so I don't know if it'll impact these messages a lot, but I'm just going to go with it. Ooh. It's hard to tune into the message with whatever they've done to my head. It's like I get part of it, but not the other part. So, just looking at the energy of this card, immediately I get low vibrational energy from this guy. And it's probably my association with the reptilians and the draconians, because they look kind of similar to a crocodile or an alligator. Um, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to give myself like 10-15 minutes. I'm going to let Odin finish clearing me. And whenever it's clear again, I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish the cards, because I'm just not able to get this clear enough. And I want to be able to get everything across that they want me to. So I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back. I am back. Here is the card that we were last looking at. And so this is interesting. So I was taking a look at this card again before I turned the video on, just to get a feel for, like, trying to get myself back into that energy so I can, continue with the messages. And what I originally pulled off of this card was kind of a darker energy. And I was saying how it kind of reminded me of like the reptilians and the draconians. Well, I was looking at this card and the words weren't what Metatron wanted. So it means that it was just a picture. And I was like, the only energy I'm getting is just this energy of a dark extraterrestrial race. Well, he makes reference to the psychic attack I have, and he shows me a new being that I personally haven't seen before that looked very much like an upright alligator. Now, the funny part, or maybe not funny part, is that Susan, my business partner, recently made reference to this kind of being where she was, I forget, she was doing like a healing or some kind of clearing on someone, and she saw what appeared to be like a upright alligator like being removed from this client. Um, and so she had asked me, "Hey, are you familiar with this race?" And I said, "No, I haven't seen them before." Well, now I have. Um, but more interestingly, this card was almost like the warning or like the validation of what was happening to me. So, I mean, this is definitely not part of, I want to say it's not part of our message, but why did he give it to us if it's not part of our message? For me, the psychic attacks are not something that will ever be completely prevented from me because it is part of my soul contract. It's part of my experience in this lifetime to get familiarity with all these different races. So I can't have firsthand experience of seeing these beings and knowing how they behave and understanding them unless I experience them. I probably could, but the way I learn, I have to experience it. So, hey, so just for your knowledge, there's a being that looks like an alligator. I'm just going to leave it at that because there's nothing else that I can feel on that card. And let's just go ahead and go to the next card. So this one, see the rhino. I don't know what this card is in tarot, so I'm just going to ignore that. Okay, discipline and determination. Interesting. Discipline and determination. So this is almost like, I mean, look at the road this guy is walking. He's on this, like, I don't know, it looks like a log that he's walking across. So he's having to be thoughtful about each step he takes so that he doesn't fall down into these, I don't know, spiky vines. And so this is us on our pathways, right? This is us as we are making choices to improve our lives and improve ourselves. We're going to have to be determined and have the discipline in order to get through the difficult parts because a lot of this light worker journey is not very sunshine and rainbows. It's not. A lot of this is working through psychic attacks or working through implants or working through our own darkness, our own trauma, our own self limiting thoughts, our old programming, our beliefs that are holding us back. And so there's a path to the light, but we have to be very conscious in order to not get tripped up by the difficulties. So the best thing we can do is focus on the next step we need to take. Don't have to focus on the whole road, just the next step you need to take. And just being conscious of that instead of all the circumstances and all the junk that's going on around you. Just focus on the one step in front of you that you need next. Oh my goodness. My heart beats for the mantids. I love the mantids. So that's funny because this card is always going to remind me of them. I mean, he's upside down, but that's pretty much exactly what a mantid looks like, but taller. Okay, so patience and perspective. Okay. This is having to do with the karma Karmic balancing. Is this having to do with all of it? um, okay, let me focus in on this. Okay, so it's he's touching on like a bunch of different areas, and so it's almost making the message difficult to give to you guys. So I see him making reference to um patience, as in that window that's open right now for us to invest into. That patience is part of it, to invest now and receive that payout in the future. But that's not the only thing that's going on here. I don't know. He's somehow connecting the patience and the perspective to the the karmic balancing, to the okay. So this is what he's saying. He's saying, wow. Okay. For so when you think of karmic balancing, normally I think of like, okay, I killed someone the last lifetime, so they need to kill me this time, and then the karma's balanced. Like I kind of think of it really basic terms like that. Maybe not always something so extreme as a murder. But he's showing me that some of this karmic balancing can be done with your perspective, because it's not the action necessarily that needs to happen in order to balance the karma. It is the learning. So that's freaking huge. I didn't realize that. So if you can have the understanding from what you would have learned by being murdered or by murdering someone or whatever the event is, if you can gain that perspective and that understanding without doing the action, without having to have that thing happen to you, then the karma can be balanced. So this might look so for some people this is going to look like patience. This is going to look like, so in a past, it's not even a past lifetime because we're doing this lifetime. So this would look like, okay, you were really impatient with someone in your teenage years, in your 20s. You had that perspective on things. If you are able to develop patience on your own and have understanding of the value of that on your own, then you're not going to need to be put through the scheduled experience that creator has for you, that you signed up for, that's part of your soul contract. You can skip that if you get the lesson on your own. So think about those two words are the ones we're going to want: patience and perspective. So perspective, perspective, perspective. He keeps going to that one. So if you can, okay, he's talking about like compassion. If you can put yourself in the perspective of the other person, so of the people, of the group, of the individual that rubs you the wrong way the most, if you can change your perspective and give yourself a couple moments to think why this person might feel this way, how they might have gotten there. If you can have compassion for their limitations, compassion for how they feel, not necessarily compassion for what their actions are, but compassion for the feelings that led them to the place where they thought that action was necessary. That's going to release, or that's going to balance karma, and you don't have to go through a 3D physical experience if you can take yourself through the experience in in your mind and come up with that information. And here we just have another validation on being in joy, enjoying life, being playful the way otters are playful, being happy and celebrating. That's the last card of this deck. I have only one more deck. Might be hard for me to read, I don't know. I'm really excited about this one. New deck, and look, it's a crystal deck. These cards are so pretty. Okay, so okay. So I'm just going to go through these with you, and I'm going to try to read the energy. I'm not super convinced that the words are what we want. This one is azurite. I was going to say sodalite, but that is not sodalite. Azurite, and so it's like that beautiful blue color. I don't have an example. Oh, hello. Look at the bottom. Discipline. We just talked about that. We just talked about that card with the lion. With the lion? Was it a lion? No. It was like a rhino or something. Here he is. Discipline here, discipline here. Let me see if there's anything else on this one. Something's going on with Saturn right now? Is Saturn one of the ones in retrograde? I don't know if you can see it says Saturn. Oh no, it says Saturn over here. Sorry, I'm turned around and it has Saturn in the background. I feel it's like the karmic energies feel tied into this card a lot. Yeah, he says yes. And he's saying like, yeah, he's turning it around. It's almost like a continuation of that last card. It's like those of you who have the discipline, enough discipline to look inside yourselves and have learnings from reflecting on situations, you're going to be able to clear that karma versus, I mean, you could still clear the karma if you go through the experience, but who wants to go through a difficult experience if you don't have to? Okay, next card, Herkimer Diamonds. I love these. I had like a necklace with some on them. Okay, so Earth Star Chakra alignment. Okay, so this is more referencing, gosh, and you're going to see this when I get to the message that I got from Ra. Ra talks about um, three different crystals he brings up, and one of them is a crystal designed for like grounding and stability. So that's what this is coming back to, is that, yeah, grounding and stability. That's all I have, even though it's not on this card. That's interesting that they have Herkimer diamonds for the Earth Star chakra, because I would have placed Herkimer diamonds more like at the crown. So that's interesting. Aragonite. Aren't these pictures the best? So it says initiation, fire element. Okay, yeah, so this one's like really straightforward. So this is about taking action towards our dreams. This is about taking action towards investing in yourself. So it's the fire energy, the energy of action, the energy of initiation. This is interesting. Calcite. Calcite is beautiful. It comes in these like cubes and the gosh, I forget what they call them. Optical calcite. You can like move it and it's crystal clear, and you'll see like a lot of times you can see rainbows in them, and they come in spheres, and the spheres are more beautiful than a quartz sphere because you have all those rainbows in there. But moon, the fact that this is saying moon and we just came off of that blue supermoon a couple days ago, that's all I can think about. Transition. It's like transitioning from, yeah, it's like transitioning from that period we had last month where there's darkness was kind of had the upper hand. We went through that full moon period on August 30th where we had all those energies coming in to assist us, and things are different now. They don't have the upper hand like they did. We're transitioning into like divine feminine power again. We're going back to the place we wanted to be. And this just, there's such good energy on this card. It's so, it's like a peaceful, transformative card. I love this energy. Yeah, it shows like the butterfly and the chrysalis and the moon stages. So it's like life, right? We're in the cycles of sometimes things are great and sometimes things are tough, and that's just the cycle of life, and we just keep going through it. We have hematite, and it says root chakra again and culmination. Okay, so again, this is about like the stability and the grounding thing that we talked about earlier. That's interesting that he gave me 2 cards on that. Okay, he does want something else. Let me see if I can tune into it. Okay. Okay, so for culmination, he's saying that this period of like blessings or payback or the kind of karmic return of good things to people over the next few months, that this is like the culmination of all the hard work. This is the culmination of the investment we've put energies in, and now we will receive those energies back in a balanced fashion. This is a rainbow fluorite. And it says, I don't know, I can't read it backwards. Asterion and introspection. Okay. This is a reference to what we were talking about for the karmic balancing, that if you're disciplined enough to have the introspection to look within, that you can balance a lot of karma that way. Another thing that you can do for that being introspective, sometimes people can just sit there and literally think about things. Sometimes people need to write it to get there. A lot of people can almost either consciously or unconsciously get to that place through meditation or even in their dreams. So there's a lot of options there for the karma. Oh, I forgot to read this guy. Oh, tangerine quartz. Tangerine quartz is one of the stones that Ra brought up to me that we're going to talk about. On here, it references it as it says solar plexus chakra, which is strange because the solar plexus is yellow. Tangerine quartz is orange, so this would actually be the sacral that it would be associated with. But it's showing it being associated with like feminine power, like divine feminine power, like rising kundalini style power. So let me actually, that's the last card that I have for you from them. Let me pull up my message. And of course, I just like have my phone in my pocket now. I don't have it out whatsoever. But basically, I received the regular message from Metatron, and then I saw Ra, and I was like, Ra, do you want to give us a message? And he said, yes. So he came over, and so what he wanted to do, so he said he wants to provide a message. So first he showed me lavender flowers, like lavender colored flowers, and they were actually lavender, the flower. And so he said, this herb or scent will be helpful this month to release karmic energies from you. So I'm going to pause right there for a second. So the release of the karmic energies, this is not going to resolve karma for you, but if you have already resolved the karma, and you have that energy on you, if you haven't released it yet, he's saying that lavender, the scent of lavender, either as an herb, as an oil, essential oil, that it will be helpful to release karmic energies from you. And then he gives me two more. So this is crazy because I've never had any guide give me information about like essential oils or anything of this nature. So he says bergamot, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, bergamot orange will help you align with joy and celebrating the present moment. So he's tying these scents into the message that Metatron gave. So lavender for karmic release, bergamot orange for joy and celebrating the present moment. And then he says cinnamon will ground you and give you the security to make bold moves. So this is a theme that has been coming through the message. So cinnamon. And then Ra picked out 3 crystals to go with this. And I did my best to find examples for you guys. So he said for releasing karmic energy, he chose Celestite. For aligning with joy and celebration, he chose Tangerine quartz. Maybe that one's a better example. And then for security, let me pick these up. Okay, so for security and bold moves, so I didn't have an actual proper piece of, I don't even know how I'm going to show this to you. I didn't have a proper piece of red aventurine. I only have these little chips, and so that's what I'm showing you guys. Is just a little red chip. So that's for security and bold moves. So just real quick on karmic release, Susan, my business partner, has previously made a crystal grid, and it's called Release Karmic Debt. So it's not going to balance debt for you. That'd be awesome if it did. Nothing can do that for you, but it's going to give you energies that will support you in coming to the conclusions that you need to come to in order to release that debt. Or the other thing it can do is help you with just pulling that energy off of you. So that's available on our website, orangelightenergy.com. It's free. You can download it. You can look at it. It's Release Karmic Debt. It's a crystal grid. So Ra, the last thing that he did is he gave 3 different mantras. And so he wants me to kind of do these with you. So I'm just going to say the mantra. I'm going to hold the applicable crystal, and I have Amanda Ellis sprays here. So let me see what we're doing for this one. So first we're going to talk about karmic debts. So this is the Amanda Ellis spray that he chose. So this one is Archangel Zadkiel, Forgiveness and Transmutation. So this is for balancing the karmic debts. And we have this guy. So let me go ahead and I'm going to spray this. No? Okay. He wants me to say the mantra first, and then we're going to spray. So I'm going to just say it once, and you can say it after me if you'd like. I release the karmic debts that have been balanced. Okay, just making sure that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. All right, I'm putting that down. The next one, we're going to talk about joy and celebration. So I have this guy. And we have the Amanda Ellis spray. I can't read the label, but it says Lemon Joy Energy Spray. The mantra Ra gave me was, I find joy in everything. I celebrate who I am right now. I'm going to do that one more time. I find joy in everything. I celebrate who I am right now. Okay. And the last one, I'm going to hold my little red Aventurine chips in my hand. And I'm going to show you the spray we're going to use. This is Warrior Goddess Energy. This is Kali Ma, Liberation and Rebirth. And this is about when he was talking about us, he was giving us like the red Aventurine for the security and bold moves. So having us feel grounded and safe, and then taking a strong action because we feel grounded and safe. So the mantra he gave me says this: the world needs my energy signature. The world does not need perfection. The world needs my energy signature. The world does not need perfection. There we go. Okay. And if you have these crystals at home, you can use these for yourself to help you with these three things this month. If you have any of those three herbs or essential oils at home, lavender, bergamot, orange, cinnamon, you can use those. If you have like cinnamon in like a, like a spice, you can just use that on your food, use that in your drink, whatever it is you use cinnamon with. Um, and consuming that is also effective that way. And if you want to continue to use these three mantras from Ra this month, you can also use those, and that would be helpful for you as well. Also, the crystal grid from Susan. So I'll include this all in the description so you have it. But this is our update for this month, and kind of moving forward is that it's karmic balancing month. We have good things coming. We're clearing things we need to clear to get to the next step. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next time.